A vacation romance unexpectedly brought two single parents and six children together as one unforgettable family in Step by Step. But the real-life story was far more tragic. One star was written out, another traded Hollywood for the courtroom, while one beloved TV mom sadly passed away. This is where the Step by Step cast is in 2026. Number 1 is Suzanne Somers, the cheerful beautician and widowed mother who marries Frank Lambert and tries to transform 6 stubborn children into one family. She was 45 when she played Carol Foster Lambert in 1991. The series became more than another sitcom. It was the comeback Hollywood had denied her for nearly a decade. Born on October 16, 1946, in San Bruno, California, Suzanne became a television sensation as Chrissy Snow on Three's Company. In 1980, she demanded a salary comparable to that of her male co-star, John Ritter. The dispute ended with her being removed from the series and ostracized by much of the entertainment industry, an experience Somers later discussed publicly. People documented her account of the firing and its aftermath. Step by Step finally returned her to primetime television. As Carol Foster Lambert, the widowed mother of 3 who runs a beauty salon from her home, Somers proved that she could help carry another successful sitcom. Away from acting, she built a lucrative business around the Thighmaster and became a best-selling health author. But her health advice also brought controversy. Somers promoted alternative treatments and bioidentical hormones, drawing strong criticism from medical professionals. Meanwhile, she was fighting breast cancer herself. First diagnosed in 2000, she lived with the disease for more than 23 years before it returned. She died at home on October 15, 2023, surrounded by her family and Alan Hamill, her husband since 1977. It was one day before her 77th birthday. Her family confirmed the details through her publicist. Carol Lambert was the mother who believed patience and love could hold a complicated family together. Suzanne Somers was the woman Hollywood pushed aside, who rebuilt herself as a sitcom star and business empire, then faced cancer for more than 2 decades before dying one day short of 77. Number 2 is Patrick Duffy, the easygoing construction contractor who suddenly found himself raising 6 children inside one chaotic blended family. He was 42 when he played Frank Lambert in 1991, already famous around the world as Bobby Ewing in Dallas. Yet behind the warmth of television's dependable father was a man who had survived 2 devastating family tragedies. Here is the life behind Frank Lambert. Born on March 17, 1949 in Townsend, Montana, Patrick Duffy became one of television's biggest stars through Dallas. His success made him a natural choice to play Frank Lambert, the divorced father of 3 who marries Carol Foster and struggles to unite their 2 very different families. The comedy allowed Duffy to escape Bobby Ewing's enormous shadow and reinvent himself as one of the most recognizable sitcom fathers of the 1990s. But 5 years before Step by Step, Duffy's real family was shattered. On November 18, 1986, his parents, Terrence and Marie Duffy, were shot and killed during a robbery at the Montana bar they owned. Both attackers were convicted, but no punishment could reverse what had happened. People confirmed the circumstances of the double murder. Another loss came in 2017 when Carlin Rosser, his wife of more than 4 decades and the mother of his 2 sons, died. Duffy believed that part of his emotional life had ended with her. Then, during the isolation of 2020, a conversation with actress Linda Pearl unexpectedly grew into love. By 2026, at 77, he remains active through occasional acting work and public appearances. Frank Lambert was the father who could repair a house even when he could not control the children inside it. Patrick Duffy was the man who lost his parents to violence, lost the wife who had shared most of his life, and still found the courage to begin again. Number 3 is Angela Watson, who portrayed Karen Foster. the fashion-obsessed middle daughter who dreamed of becoming a model and considered almost every boy a potential romance. She was 15 when she joined into Step by Step and remained with the series through all 7 seasons. But after spending her teenage years earning millions in front of the camera, she discovered that almost none of the money remained. Born on November 12, 1975, near Danville, Illinois, Watson grew up competing in beauty pageants and modeling contests, reportedly collecting hundreds of trophies before moving to California. After appearing in commercials and Davis Rules, she was cast as Karen Foster, Carol's vain but lovable daughter, whose obsession with clothes, beauty, and boys made her completely different from her serious older sister Dana. After Step by Step ended, Watson learned that roughly $2 million she believed had been saved for her future was gone. She believed her parents had stolen or squandered the earnings, leaving her humiliated, emotionally devastated, and financially insecure. The family dispute later became more complicated when Watson said that another person had manipulated her and isolated her from those closest to her. Backstage documented the lost earnings and emotional aftermath. Instead of remaining silent, Watson established CAST, child actors supporting themselves, to connect young performers with attorneys, investigators, and accountants when their earnings were mismanaged. She married actor Brian Nahas in 2020 and reunited with several Step by Step castmates at 90s Con in 2024. That same year, at 48, she welcomed her first child, James, who was born with a serious heart defect and required extensive medical treatment. In 2026, Watson is 50 and remains largely outside Hollywood, concentrating on her husband, son, and occasional fan appearances. People reported on her marriage, reunion, and new life as a mother. Karen Foster was the daughter who believed beauty, fashion, and confidence could solve almost anything. Angela Watson was the child star who watched her television fortune disappear, turned that betrayal into protection for other young performers, and eventually built a quieter family life far from Hollywood. Number 4 is Stacy Keenan, the intelligent, fiercely organized eldest daughter who often behaved like the only adult in the Lambert Foster household. She was 15 when she was cast as Dana Foster. She already had years of television experience, yet eventually walked away from Hollywood for a career almost no viewer expected. Born Anastasia Love Sigorsky on June 6, 1975 in Devon, Pennsylvania, Stacy began modeling and appearing in commercials as a child. At 12, she became widely recognized as Nicole Bradford in My Two Dads. That success led to Dana Foster, Carol's studious and sarcastic eldest daughter, whose constant arguments with JT became one of Step by Step's most familiar rivalries. Although acting had given her a promising career, Keenan chose not to spend her entire life chasing roles. After Step by Step ended in 1998, she continued making occasional appearances, including a reunion cameo with Patrick Duffy and Christine Lakin in You Again in 2010. But by then, she was already building a completely different future. Keenan graduated cum laude from UCLA before earning her law degree from Southwestern Law School. Admitted to the California bar in 2013, she became a deputy district attorney, prosecuting serious cases involving murder and domestic violence. She later joined Southwestern as an adjunct law professor. She has not vanished entirely, however. She reunited publicly with several castmates in 2024. Today, at 51, she continues working in law under her birth name, Anastasia Sigorsky. Dana Foster was the daughter who always believed she knew more than everyone else in the house. Stacy Keenan was the former child star who left scripted courtroom drama behind and entered real courtrooms, exchanging Hollywood fame for a career devoted to justice. Number 5 is Brandon Call, who portrayed John Thomas J.T. Lambert, the athletic, mischievous eldest son whose questionable plans and endless clashes with Dana created some of Step by Step's biggest laughs. He was 15 years old when the film started in 1991. But while the show was still running, an encounter on his drive home nearly ended his life. Here is what happened. Born on November 17, 1976, in Torrance, California, Brandon began acting when he was a child. Before Step by Step, he appeared in Blind Fury and played Hobie Buchanan during the first season of Baywatch. As J.T. Lambert, Frank's oldest son, Call became the family's confident troublemaker, a sports-loving teenager more interested in girls and shortcuts than schoolwork. Then, on September 3, 1996, Call was driving home after filming when he became involved in a traffic confrontation. Another driver opened fire, striking him in both arms. He was rushed to UCLA Medical Center and survived without life-threatening injuries, but the shooting became a terrifying reminder of how suddenly his life could change. Christine Lakin later suggested that such an experience could profoundly affect someone and may have contributed to his loss of interest in public attention. When Step by Step ended in 1998, Call retired from acting completely. For more than 2 decades, he gave almost no interviews and maintained an exceptionally private life. However, he did not disappear permanently. In March 2024, he surprised fans by joining his former castmates at 90s Con, where he revealed that he had moved into investments and other business ventures. Now, he is 49 years old and continues living far outside Hollywood's spotlight. J.T. Lambert was the reckless son who treated every problem as another opportunity for mischief. Brandon Call was the child star who survived being shot while his sitcom was still on television, finished the series, and then chose a private life that fame could no longer control. Number 6 is Christine Lakin, the tough, sports-loving Lambert daughter who preferred baseball caps and practical jokes to dresses and makeup. She was 12 when she played Alicia Al Lambert, and grew from a tomboyish child into a young woman before millions of viewers. Yet her greatest achievement came after the series, when she refused to let one childhood role define her adult career. Born on January 25, 1979 in Dallas, Texas, Lakin grew up in Atlanta and began working professionally in theater, commercials, and television movies. She was cast as Al at the last minute after another actress withdrew from the role. As Frank Lambert's athletic middle child and JT's sharp-tongued younger sister, Al frequently clashed with her new stepsisters, especially the feminine and fashion-conscious Karen. When Step by Step ended in 1998, Lakin faced the problem that ends many child stars' careers. Audiences still saw the little girl they had watched grow up. She continued acting through appearances in Veronica Mars, Georgia Rule, and other productions, while expanding into voice work as Joyce Kinney on Family Guy. But her most important reinvention began behind the camera. Her dance background led to choreography work on series including True Blood, Westworld, and 90210. That experience eventually opened the door to directing episodes of The Goldbergs, Schooled and High School Musical, the series. Lakin later explained that she discovered she enjoyed creating behind the camera even more than performing in front of it. People detailed her transition from child actress to television director. Lakin married actor Brandon Breaux in 2014, and they have 2 children, Georgia and Baylor. Now, at 47, she continues working as an actress, director, writer, and producer, while maintaining a close connection with fans and former castmates. Her official biography describes her continuing multi-hyphenate career. Al Lambert was the tomboy daughter who never allowed dresses, boys, or her older brother to control her. Christine Lakin was the child star who grew up on camera, escaped the limits of typecasting, and transformed decades of experience into a lasting career on both sides of the lens. Number 7 is Josh Byrne, the gentle and often overlooked youngest Lambert child, who entered the blended family alongside his father, brother, and sister. He was only 7 when he portrayed Brendan Lambert. 6 seasons later, Brendan disappeared without an explanation, and the young actor behind him soon vanished from Hollywood as well. Here is the mystery the series never resolved. Born on February 15, 1984 in Los Angeles, California, Byrne began acting before he was old enough to attend elementary school. After appearing in The Family Man and Who's the Boss, he was cast as Brendan Lambert, Frank's sweet-natured youngest son and the quietest member of the Lambert Foster household. Byrne remained with the sitcom from its first season through the end of season 6. He also portrayed a young version of Billy Crystal's character in the 1992 film Mr. Saturday Night. But when Step by Step moved from ABC to CBS for its 7th and final season, Brendan was removed from the story. The family never explained where he had gone, and no publicly verified account has established why Byrne lost the role or how he personally reacted. After leaving the series in 1997, Byrne stopped acting completely. Unlike several former castmates, he did not attend the widely reported reunion at 90s Con in 2024, and no reliable public information confirms his occupation, marriage, or family life. Today, at 42, he remains one of the most mysterious former child actors from 1990s television. Apple TV's biography confirms his work on the first 6 seasons and Brendan's unexplained disappearance. Brendan Lambert was the youngest son who quietly belonged to the family until the scripts suddenly pretended he had never existed. Josh Byrne was the child actor who left the series without a farewell, walked away from Hollywood, and kept the next 3 decades of his life entirely beyond the public's reach. Number 8 is Christopher Castile, who played Mark Foster, the brilliant but socially awkward youngest foster child who approached family chaos as if every problem could be solved with a textbook. He was 11 when Step by Step premiered in 1991. By the end of the decade, he had appeared in a successful sitcom, 2 major family films, and a popular animated series, then abandoned acting for a classroom. Let's find out why he chose an ordinary life. Born on June 15, 1980, in Orange County, California, Castile began acting in commercials before being chosen to play Mark Foster, Carol's youngest son and the most academically gifted child in the blended family. During the show's run, he also played Ted Newton in Beethoven and Beethoven's Second, and voiced Eugene Horowitz in Hey Arnold. Yet Castile never felt completely comfortable with celebrity. He later admitted that he wanted to experience life as a normal teenager and was not passionate enough about acting to continue chasing roles. When Step by Step ended in 1998, he retired from Hollywood and entered college without any intention of returning. Castile earned bachelor's and master's degrees in political science from California State University, Long Beach, not a law degree from Loyola Law School, as some online biographies incorrectly claim. He eventually became a high school teacher of American history and economics, while also teaching political science at Biola University. In 2024, he briefly resurfaced on Stacey Keenan and Christine Lakin's podcast to discuss his remarkable transition. In 2026, he is 46 and remains devoted to education while keeping his family life private. People documented Castile's account of leaving acting and becoming a teacher. Mark Foster was the child genius who always seemed more comfortable with books than with the unpredictable people around him. Christopher Castile was the child star who discovered that teaching real students gave him something Hollywood never could: a career he genuinely wanted. Number 9 is Sasha Mitchell, the muscular martial artist who played Frank's lovable nephew Cody Lambert, the dim-witted but kind-hearted cousin who lived in a van and somehow turned every misunderstanding into comedy. He was 24 when he played Cody Lambert in 1991. 5 years later, a domestic violence case destroyed his wholesome image and removed him from the series that had made him famous. Born on July 27, 1967, in Los Angeles, Mitchell worked as a model before joining Dallas as James Beaumont, the illegitimate son of J.R. Ewing. His black belt in Taekwondo also helped him replace Jean-Claude Van Damme as the leading man in Kickboxer 2, followed by the 3rd and 4th films. Those qualities made him perfect for Cody, whose imposing physique contrasted hilariously with his innocent personality. In 1995, Mitchell was convicted of abusing his wife, Jeanette, and received probation, community service, and mandatory counseling. After repeatedly violating probation, he served several jail sentences during 1996. The scandal led producers to remove Cody after season 5, although Mitchell returned briefly during the final season. He later testified that his estranged wife had allegedly abused their 4 children, a claim she denied. Contemporary reporting documented the conviction and probation violations. Mitchell continued acting sporadically in ER, JAG, NYPD Blue, and low-budget action films, but his regular Hollywood career never recovered. He eventually pursued work in welding and computer engineering while continuing to appear at martial arts events. In 2024, he unexpectedly reunited with his former castmates at 90s Con and said his new path kept his hands busy and his heart happy. As of 2026, Mitchell is 59, twice divorced, and the father of 4 children. People reported on his legal history, career change, and reunion. Cody Lambert was the gentle giant whose mistakes always ended in laughter. Sasha Mitchell was the martial arts star whose real-life violence case cost him his biggest role and forced him to rebuild far beyond Hollywood. Number 10 is Patrika Darbo, who portrayed Penny Baker, the lively beautician who played Carol's outspoken younger sister Penny Baker. She was 43 when Step by Step premiered in 1991, bringing playful humor to the family whenever Penny offered advice nobody had requested. But contrary to some cast histories, Darbo appeared only during the first season, not the first 4, and her greatest television success arrived years after she left. Born on April 6, 1948 in Jacksonville, Florida, Darbo studied theater, but initially supported herself as a credit manager while performing on stage. After committing to acting full-time in the 1980s, she appeared in The Burbs' Daddy's Dyin', Who's Got the Will, and Spaced Invaders. As Penny, Carol's unmarried sister who worked alongside the family at the beauty salon, Darbo created an amusing contrast to Carol's more controlled personality. After leaving Step by Step in 1992, Darbo continued appearing in films such as In the Line of Fire, Karina, and Midnight, In the Garden of Good and Evil. Her defining role came in 1998 when she joined Days of Our Lives as Nancy Wesley, the forceful and fiercely protective mother of Chloe Lane. The performance earned her a Daytime Emmy nomination and established her as a major soap opera actress. She later played Shirley Spectra on The Bold and the Beautiful. Darbo has not won 3 Daytime Emmys, as sometimes claimed. She won 1 Primetime Emmy in 2016 for the comedy series Acting Dead, becoming the first actress to win that short-form category. A Daytime Emmy presented for The Bay in 2018 was later rescinded because the production had submitted her in an incorrect category, although the Academy stated that Darbo was not responsible for the mistake. The Television Academy confirms her Primetime Emmy victory. Darbo married director Rolf Peter Darbo in 1973, not Michael Finn in 1993, and their marriage has now lasted more than 5 decades. In 2026, she is 78 and remains involved in acting, industry organizations, and SAG-AFTRA activities. Penny Baker was the unmarried aunt whose beauty salon chatter made family problems funnier. Patrika Darbo was the working actress who spent decades turning supporting roles into memorable performances and finally received television's highest recognition. Number 11 is Jason Marsden, the fast-talking best friend of JT who unexpectedly fell in love with his intelligent and fiercely sarcastic stepsister Dana. Marsden was 18 when he first appeared on Step by Step in 1993 as a different character named Doug. He returned at 20 as Rich Halka in Season 5, never imagining that a supporting sitcom role would nearly lead to a spin-off of its own. Born on January 3, 1975 in Providence, Rhode Island, Marsden began professional acting at 11 on General Hospital. He later appeared in The Munsters Today, Erie, Indiana, Full House, Boy Meets World, and Hocus Pocus, in which he voiced the cat form of Thackeray Binks. As Rich, JT's fun-loving best friend, he initially irritated Dana before their constant arguments developed into romance. Their chemistry became so popular that producers briefly discussed a Dana and Rich spin-off, although it never progressed. Marsden revealed the abandoned idea in 2025. His greatest success, however, came inside recording studios. Marsden became the voice of Max Goof in a Goofy movie, Haku in the English-language version of Spirited Away, Kovu in The Lion King 2, Richie Foley in Static Shock, and numerous characters in television series and video games. While many young sitcom performers struggled after their shows ended, voice acting gave Marsden a career that could continually reinvent itself. Marsden married Christy Hicks in 2004, and their son was born in 2010. The marriage ended in divorce in 2020. In 2025, he celebrated the 30th anniversary of A Goofy Movie alongside Bill Farmer and continued meeting fans at pop culture conventions. In 2026, at 51, he remains active as a voice actor, director, producer, and convention guest, still working steadily more than 4 decades after his first role. People described his continuing career in animation and video games. Rich Halke was the goofy best friend who unexpectedly won the smartest girl in the family. Jason Marsden was the teenage actor who turned one recognizable face into dozens of unforgettable voices and built one of the cast's most enduring careers. Number 12 is Peggy Rhea, the veteran character actress who played Ivy Baker, Carol and Penny's blunt but loving mother, and the maternal grandmother of Dana, Karen, and Mark. She was 70 when Step by Step premiered in 1991, already carrying nearly 4 decades of television experience. Yet Hollywood rarely placed her name above the title, forcing her to build an entire career by making mothers, aunts, and wives unforgettable from the edges of the story. Born on March 31, 1921 in Los Angeles, Rhea left UCLA for business school and worked as a production secretary at MGM during the 1940s. At night, she performed in small theatrical productions until acting gradually replaced office work. Her first major opportunity came with a touring production of A Streetcar Named Desire in 1947, followed by Broadway work and her television debut on I Love Lucy in 1953. Rhea spent the following decades moving between westerns, comedies, and family dramas. She appeared in Gunsmoke, The Red Skelton Show, and All in the Family before gaining greater recognition as Rose Burton on The Waltons and Lulu Hogg, Boss Hogg's strong-willed wife, on The Dukes of Hazzard. On Step by Step, Ivy lived close to Carol's newly blended household and worked around the family beauty salon. Like Penny, however, she appeared only during season 1, not 4 seasons. Leaving the sitcom did not end Rhea's career. In 1995, she joined Grace Under Fire as Jean Kelly, Grace's demanding but humorous mother-in-law, remaining with the series until 1998. Although she repeatedly portrayed wives, mothers, and grandmothers, Rhea never married and had no children of her own. She once described her personal life as largely inseparable from her work, a career built through constant auditions, supporting parts, and more than 70 television productions. Rhea died from complications of congestive heart failure at her Toluca Lake home on February 5, 2011. She was 89, only weeks away from her 90th birthday. The Los Angeles Times documented her death and 6-decade career. Ivy Baker was the meddling mother who could never stay out of her daughters' lives. Peggy Rhea was the woman who never created a family of her own, yet spent nearly half a century becoming part of America's television families. So that's Step by Step cast in 2026. After all these years, which cast member surprised you the most? And who will always be your favorite member of the Lambert Foster family? Share your memories in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this trip back to one of the most beloved family sitcoms of the 1990s, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Then and Now videos.